Anthony Joshua, thank you very much for joining us in the gym with KSI.
Yep.
He's building up to a big week. What do you make of KSI in the gym?
Phenomenal. Starting off from nowhere, and now he's somebody. I give him all the praise, all the credit, and I wish him well.
Do you fancy his chances against Tommy Fury, a known boxer?
Yeah, that's where it's tough. Experience plays a massive role in anyone's approach to success, but with God, with hard work, and his raw ability, who knows what can happen, and with the support of the people as well, that could push him on just over that final line.
So you're giving him a few tips in there before. What were you saying to him about how to approach this fight?
Well, everyone's going to have an opinion, so I'll give you mine. My opinion is all about the lead hand. So the jab controls all. Once you can establish that, then you find your range and everything comes off the back of that. So I was just saying, take away Tommy's and establish yours. And obviously there'll be more to it than that, but that was just one thing I noticed.
What did you make of Jake Paul's fight with Tommy Fury?
Really good. There was a lot of emotions, a lot riding on it. So it wasn't just a boxing match. It was one for pride, ego, emotions. But I thought it was a really good fight all around.
And if one day we see KSI versus Jake Paul, are you willing to give an opinion or a prediction either way?
I rate them both. I like them both. I wish them both well. It's just good for the sport of boxing.
Let's talk about October the 14th. Just the other fight on the card, the big headliner, Logan Paul, Dillon Danis. You're well versed in the sport of boxing. Has Dillon Danis gone a bit too far? Family insults on Twitter?
Do you know what? I'll be real. In this game of boxing, there are no rules. The internet is undefeated. All your information is out there at the end of the day. What you put out there, they will always come back around full circle. So unfortunately, they're using this as a war tactic. And you're at war. So there are no low blows. Anything's acceptable in the art of war.
How would you approach the fight if your opponent was doing this to you in the build-up?
Me, I'd keep a cool head, but I don't think the people around me would let him reach the fight, because I think that sometimes if someone pushes the buttons too much, I think it gets a bit personal. But I would just keep a cool head personally, but I don't think many people around me would be too happy.
What do you think of the crossover boxing scene in general? It sort of sprung to life. It was almost exactly a year ago. We had Misfits X Series 01 on DAZN. Yeah. Since then, we've hit all kinds of heights. What do you make of that scene?
I think it's phenomenal. It's a tough game, the sport of boxing, and on your way to the championship, it's like you have to be perfect. And in a sport where there's competition at its finest art, it's hard to be perfect all the time. So people are really protecting themselves before they get to, let's say, for example, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Now they're realizing that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow has checkpoints, where if you're marketable, there's a checkpoint. If you're talented, that's another checkpoint. If you can bring viewers, that's another checkpoint. So there's so many ways that you can be marketable and have world championship-like fights along the way before you fight for one. So I think these guys are showing that you just don't need to be a champion to be respected and to be looked at as a credible opponent. You could be someone popular and have talent, and you're still a credible opponent and still manage to get big fights. And the YouTuber guys are showing that. So I think they're adding to the game rather than taking away.
Let me ask you to put a matchmaking hat on for a moment. If you could make a fight on Misfits, no boxers allowed, this is personalities, who would you like to see stepping in there?
No boxers allowed?
No boxers allowed.
Personalities, right? Anyone in the world?
Could be footballers, chefs, musicians, actors, anyone in the world.
Ronaldo versus Messi.
Who wins?
Ronaldo.
You reckon?
Yeah, I love Messi or Ronaldo. Messi's got that, that vision though. I can imagine him bobbing and weaving angles, but yeah, it'd be tough. They're both as good as each other.
For what it's worth, my suggestion there was Ibrahimovic v Lukaku, staying in the football.
Yeah, they don't like each other anyway, do they?
No.
Yeah, that would be a bad boy fight as well, to be fair.
If you were to step into a Misfits, let's just say it was to happen, Anthony Joshua enters the crossover boxing space. Again, no boxer. Who would you like to fight?
Who would I like to fight?
You may have to take it easy on them.
Who would I like to fight in the Misfits? I ain't got no beef with no one.
No footballers you'd pull over?
Who would you suggest?
Well, I was going to say Ronaldo.
Nah, I respect Ronaldo. Nah, no one.
No?
No one. No.
Not happening?
Nah.
Okay, fair, good answer. To bring it back around to yourself for a moment, we saw Conor McGregor jumping in the ring with you and chatting with you. And I'll speak about the beef with him and KSI in a moment. But how was it for you just engaging and interacting with him?
So, like, as soon as the fight's done, there's a lot of pressure, so on and so forth. Part of me just wanted to leave, but I thought, let me address my fans and my supporters. So I went around the ring and I bumped into Conor McGregor on my victory lap. And he's a personality. He's a very big character. So we stopped off, we spoke, had a sip of stout, and I was on my way. So respect to him, really. I just do what I want, and I felt like jumping out the ring at the time and mixing with the fans and people that I come to see. And gave Helenius his respect, and was on our way, and we're here now.
Did it surprise you a little bit when he started calling out KSI in front of you? And I couldn't make out what it was he said, but he was saying something derogatory, and you stuck up for KSI straight away.
Yeah, I just didn't understand what this beef was about. And obviously I know KSI, so I'm not going to be like, yeah, fuck KSI. Because so my language, right? Yeah, because I know KSI, I'm not going to be like, start throwing slurs at KSI as well. I was like, that's my guy, like, what's going on? Yeah. So but I respect all. They're in a business, They've got their head-to-head in their business, but I'm not involved in that, so I support them both. Good luck to both of them. And they'll shake hands at the end. That's the great thing about our sport of boxing. It does, get your blood boiling, tensions rise, but at the end of it, you shake hands and you walk out of there with respect for your opponent.
Do you think we see KSI Conor down the line? Would you like to see that fight?
Do you know what the thing with boxing? All possible. It's just if the fighters want it. But yeah, I would love to see it. Oh, look at these personalities. They're doing better than boxers taking on bigger challenges. They're taking on the biggest challenges back to back. Tommy Fury versus KSI is not a joke of a fight. It's massive. So good luck to both of them. And KSI versus Conor, massive. KSI versus Jake Paul, massive. Big fights, man.
I just want to stop in the professional boxing scene, the classic boxing scene, for a couple more questions. Matty Harris is a fighter that we work really closely with. Obviously suffered defeat last time out, and possibly a defeat he wasn't expecting. He wanted to go out and get the job done. What advice would you give to Matty for bouncing back and coming back and overturning that?
Well, I would like to sit down with Matty, only if he needs to, but reach out to him, because advice is sometimes pushed upon people when you don't really know what they're going through and their approach. So I'd like to hear how Matty's coping with things, and then align some things I would advise him with his ethos as well. But just on it is, things happen in life, and it will all make sense in the long run. So just stay on course, don't stop now, stay on course, because everything will work out if you stay consistent.
Final one from me on that topic. In the pro ranks, Hrgovic-Usyk is a fight that's heavily being spoken about in the heavyweight division. You feel very well positioned to comment on that fight. What do you make of Filip Hrgovic and a potential fight with Alexander Usyk?
Yeah, Hrgovic is good puncher. Usyk's a very top operator, but anything can happen in boxing. Even though I would put Usyk as a favourite, you just never know. But I'm putting Usyk as a favourite in that one. But as I said, you just never know.
Last question, Anthony. Do we see you out anytime soon? Are we hoping to see Anthony Joshua back in the ring?
So last year, or let's say early on this year, my goal was to fight 3 times a year. If you listen to what I say, I try and stick to that. So I've done 2 already. Still got a couple months left before this year's out, and my goal is to fight this year. I'm sticking to the plan I set out. So yeah, you'll see me soon. And we're in the boxing gym. Where else would I be? Keeping it relative, keeping my mind in the right spirit, keeping my energy in the right environment. So yeah, we're leading towards another fight soon.
It's been great to spend some time, Anthony. October the 14th is when it goes down with KSI, Manchester Arena. Of course, you know it well, Eric. Thank you, man.